Hey, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, drop a like on my video, and share it on social media. Also, I have found out that YouTube's algorithm punishes creators that get short watch times on their videos. So if you can, please stick around to the very end. If you're a person who does not like my videos well enough to stick around to the very end, please go down in the comments and tell me what I can do to improve them. I make videos challenging the woke agenda that has been spoon-fed to us for the last several years. I'll also make videos challenging anything else that I find that doesn't make any sense to me. So thanks for watching. Now on to the video. Steven Crowder is a YouTube personality. If you don't know who he is a right-wing commentator, and he does a program called Change My Mind, where he goes out into public and asks people to discuss a topic with him that people frequently have a misconception about. Recently, he did one on Thanksgiving is Racist, Change My Mind, is the title of the broadcast. And I had no idea that people thought Thanksgiving was racist until I saw this clip here where he talks to a young woman who's very ignorant and very opinionated at the same time. Let's take a look and see what she has to say.
So I think if we're asking Native Americans how they feel about the holiday and that's what they're saying, then shouldn't we listen to them?
Oh, sure, you can listen to them. It doesn't mean that that's what the holiday is.
But even if something proactively promotes unity, if there are people who don't feel that way,
sure,
then those people were marginalized and affected by the acts of barbarism. That Thanksgiving is about a moment of unity between pilgrims and Native Americans.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time that those two peoples interacted was filled with violence and inequality.
Yeah.
Then why is it just that day? I've heard that dinner didn't happen. The narrative that we push isn't true, and that
do you know how many of the settlers were wiped out?
That they came here.
Obviously, slavery is still practiced across the Islamic world. So you believe that?
Okay.
No, is it not?
I mean, it's practiced across the entire world.
So in other words, unless I say that Thanksgiving is inherently racist, I am erasing the opinion of all Native Americans.
Yeah, I mean, not all, but those who feel that Thanksgiving is racist. They were barbaric. They lived here. This was their land.
Yeah, they were certainly barbaric.
You could argue that the colonialists were barbarians, but by saying it isn't racist, you are erasing someone's experience.
No.
Yes, you are. Inherently.
Incorrect.
Why?
That's not the definition of racism.
What's the definition of racism?
Definition of racism is believing that somebody is inferior solely based on their race.
That's prejudice. Racism is institutionalized discrimination. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Well,
a video that was made in 2015, and it's from cut.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a video that is a series of interviews that they interview Native Americans, and they ask them to describe Thanksgiving in one word, right?
Sure.
And these people say massacre, racist, false holiday,
sure,
unpeaceful, these kinds of things.
So hearing her mention the video from Cut made me curious, and I went looking for the video. I found it, and we're going to take a look at that right now.
Thanksgiving. Lies.
Sadness, total sadness. Thanksgiving is a time when my family gets together and tells stories about our creation myths and who we were and who we are and really what we lost.
What you lost over hundreds of years of warring. You fought the Europeans for 200 years, and you lost. And when was the last battle between the natives and the Europeans? 102 years ago. Maybe it's time to move on. I'm just, throwing that out there. My ancestors don't talk about the 100 Years' War anymore.
Inaccurate. I like the overall idea of Thanksgiving, but not where it actually comes from.
Well, it comes from a festival that the natives had with the European pilgrims who came here. And in 1621, they had a feast for 3 days in Plymouth, Massachusetts area. And they did it to show their thanks for overcoming hardships that they were facing during that time period. Both were willing participants in this, and both enjoyed each other's company. It wasn't the Europeans forcing the natives to do this, okay? We have historical documents of what actually happened then.
Turkey and white pilgrims. I don't know what the first Thanksgiving was, but I highly doubt it was a group of happy pilgrims and a group of happy Indians cooking turkey together.
No, it pretty much was. The natives actually brought some deer for the pilgrims to eat, and the pilgrims had shot birds and other animals that they shared with the natives. Everybody shared.
Family.
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 Watch football, overeat.
Warm.
A celebration.
Thankful.
See, these people get it. Why this holiday has been obfuscated into the war between Europeans and Native Americans is beyond me. I have some ideas, and maybe I'll discuss them later on, but this is, yeah, these people get it.
I don't really celebrate the holiday for like what it actually is, more of like just getting to have family over and eat.
Colonization. I think it is important to give thanks and to have a day for that, but maybe the history of why we celebrated it in that certain way is more complicated.
Oh, that's a horror. Horror beyond measure. Terrible, brutal, atrocity, massacre.
Okay, so do you think that the natives were innocent in all of this? Yes. Okay, you have a point. The Europeans came to North America and the natives were here first. So, you know, they should have first dibs on the land. But wars happen. Colonization, empirical warfare does happen. And it's not a monopoly by the Europeans. The largest land empire in the history of humanity was under the control of someone named Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was not a white man. Okay? So everybody wants to point the finger at Europeans and say how evil we are. We're just, oh, your European ancestry, you're all evil. You're just the most evil person ever. All you want to do is colonize and conquer and do this and do that. It's like, no. This is just human beings. The human beings want to do this. Human beings want to do this. I mean, look at these native people here. They can't even get over what happened to them over 100 years ago. I mean, I know it's tragic. I'm not saying it isn't. It is a terrible tragedy. War is tragic. But the Native Americans did terrible things to the Europeans, too. They would cut their arms and legs off, making sure not to kill them in the process. And then they would toss their bodies onto a fire and watch them writhe and scream as they burned it to death. There were all sorts of terrible, terrible tortures that the Native Americans visited on to the Europeans. And if you want to say, hey, well, you know, they were the invading force, they deserve it. No, just because you do something immoral doesn't mean that you deserve to have immoral acts brought upon you. That's not how that works. Two wrongs don't make a right. But this was war. This was war, and you know, no side was right. But the fact of the matter is, the Europeans won in the end. That's the way it goes. I'm sorry that you don't like it. Don't be a sore loser about it. Get over it and move on with your life.
There was a massacre. Puritans came and slaughtered them. They didn't want to eat with the savage. They slaughtered millions of us. I don't know why they call themselves Puritans.
It's because you're uneducated why you don't know that. And it's funny coming from somebody who has Jesus on his hat. It says one way, Jesus, the only way. Really? And you don't know why they were called Puritans? No, the settlers, the pilgrims, did eat with the savages, as you call them. I didn't call them savages. That was your words.
Romanticized. Well, I would definitely say the story of Thanksgiving and coming together is definitely romanticized because of the horrible atrocities that were committed against us.
Thanksgiving, just to me, just means a day for football and lots of good eating and trying not to think about what it really represents.
What it really represents, you mean being thankful? You know, it's, and Steven Crowder says this in his Thanksgiving is Racist, Change My Mind segment. It's okay to look at the past and go, hey, we had this great moment in history. Let's focus on that and celebrate that. and not focus on all of the negative stuff that happened after that or before that or around that or whenever or in different parts of the world at the same time. You know, you don't hear anybody, maybe you do hear people complaining about Christmas and how it's racist or whatever. I haven't heard anybody complaining about that, but Christianity is not innocent. It is a religion fraught with violence and disgusting acts that I dare not repeat because they're so horrific. But we still celebrate Christmas, and I don't hear anybody crying about how evil Christianity is. This is true for many, many different holidays. I mean, we don't go around talking about how Halloween was a celebration to keep the dead from rising up and taking over the world. We have a completely different view of what Halloween is today. Nobody goes around, oh, you can't celebrate that. It's a pagan holiday about this and that and the other thing. No, but when it comes to Thanksgiving, oh my gosh, it's so racist. It's evil. Are you kidding me? Get over the past. If you keep reliving this past, you're never going to get over it. Like I said, the 100 Years' War, much of my ancestry is English. Well, I don't sit around going, man, we got to get back at those damn French for what they did during that 100 Years' War. Those sons of bitches. I can be angry at the English because I had ancestors who fought in the Revolutionary War. No, get over it and move on. I know that you lost in it, and I know that war is tragic, but sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, right? Maybe you learn your lesson and you move on. You try to have a good, happy life, a positive life, instead of going, well, Thanksgiving is a racist holiday meant to keep Native Americans down. No, it's not. It's a holiday that was intended to bring people together in the spirit of Thanksgiving, of appreciation for the good that you do have. If you want to have a holiday, a day of mourning for the lost war, okay, we could do that, but then you're just, you're adding fuel to the fire. You're adding fuel to the fire of, well, this was a terrible tragedy and the white people are still here and it's not fair. Do you want all the white people, all the Europeans in this country, the people of European ancestry, just to go back to Europe? How about we do that? How about we go back to, and while we're at it, why don't all the Europeans in Europe kick out all of the Muslims that came here? I mean, Spain was occupied by Islam for a long time. I don't remember how long, but a long time. And now you have Muslims from Arabia and from Africa flooding into Europe, and they're not European, but they think they deserve to have that land, that European land, and they plan on moving in there and setting down roots in their communities that are there and living the rest of their lives and having children, having grandchildren, and doing all that there. And they're committing acts of violence against the Europeans, the people who have evolved, and their generations can be traced all the way back to when white people first evolved in Europe. But that's okay because, oh, it's evil white man. White men are evil. White people are evil. Don't you know? You people need to just get over it and move on, because you're not going to change the past. You keep living in the past, you're not going to change it. Concentrate on what you can do now and be thankful. You should be thankful that we actually acknowledge the Native American on Thanksgiving. Indians are depicted, and they're depicted in a nice way instead of depicted as evil on Thanksgiving. We have a holiday where we actually acknowledge, hey, look, the Native American. That is an amazing thing. That cultural heritage has been passed forward so far into the future from where it was. It's an amazing thing. But no, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. Just get out of here, Europeans. You came here just to slaughter us. It's way more complicated than that. People didn't come here going, we're just going to slaughter the natives. It's fine. That's what we're going to do. I want to shoot me some natives. It'll be good. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you next time.